Well, everybody, welcome to our bi-weekly maWebCenters webinar series. I'm really excited to be here tonight because we're going to be talking about the maWebCenters team of professionals. So this is really an exciting day because our university major or our specialty is really unique in that we provide more than just a product and service to the end consumer, but we also provide a bunch of teams of professionals that support us as web center owners and support us as unfranchised owners. And that's really exciting. So I'm really looking forward to giving you guys a tour of all of the resources, the people resources that are available to you so that you can learn how to better leverage the system. Before we get started, though, let's just go over a couple of quick reminders. Again, this is a bi-weekly webinar series. They happen on the first and third Tuesday of every month. So just don't be alarmed when there isn't one next Tuesday. They are recorded, and so long as the recording is successful, those recordings are being uploaded to mawc411.com. All you've got to do is click on Training and Support, scroll down to Webinars, and you can view the recordings that have happened on previous webinars. And in most cases at this point, you can also download a PDF version of the PowerPoint from the slides. So if you're looking for the slides from tonight's webinar, they should be available as early as tomorrow, if not sometime later on this week. During the webinar, if you have any questions that come up at the end of a section, go ahead and send me the question. You'll see what the different subjects that we're going to be covering tonight. But at the end of a section, if that question is still there, go ahead and just type me the question in your question box, and I'll answer those questions out loud at the end of the webinar. If your question is personal and you need me to look into something specifically, please make sure that you reserve those kinds of questions for email so that I can actually track and follow up with you and give you the right kind of, quality information and responses that you need. Because on a webinar like tonight, I can't really look into any specific situation. So if you have specific questions that you need me to do any kind of research or follow up with, make sure you send me an email. My email is sarahRose@marketamerica.com. It's SARAHROSE@marketamerica.com. And yeah, so go ahead and send me any questions that you may have. All right. So let's get started. Tonight is, like I said, I'm really super excited. I really do believe that as web center owners, or unfranchised owners that choose to specialize with maWebCenters, we're really, really lucky because we have all of these teams of professionals and experts that support us in our sales process. And that's really, really, that's really unique. I mean, just think about it, you guys. How cool would it be if, all of the specialties kind of had these teams of professionals that sold product for you and handled all of the technical follow-up or the scientific follow-up, if you will, for all of the other product lines. It's really kind of an interesting theory, right? So it's really important that we understand all of the different teams that exist, what they do, and understand how to best use them and utilize and leverage these teams, because they're a huge asset to us as web center owners. We don't have to be technically savvy to be really successful web center owners. In fact, most successful web center owners don't start out as being very technically savvy. They're just people that are really great networkers, that are great listeners, and that are really people. You know what I mean? They're the kinds of people that make strong relationships and can make connections. So if you're one of those kinds of people and you're really looking to leverage the Web Center program, then understanding the different teams of professionals is really super important. I just want to give a quick example or an analogy because I think that as we become more experienced web center owners, or say, for example, if we kind of come into the web center program already kind of experienced, I think that we tend to try to take on more tasks than we need to, right? I mean, I don't know about you guys, but I have met web center owners that do everything themselves. You see them, doing all their own appointments, and you see them designing their own websites and handling all of the editing, and they just feel the need to do everything themselves. And that's really not what the system is. That's not what it's designed for. In fact, that really slows down your overall progress, because if you're spending all of your time doing all of the little details that should be handled by the product, itself and the teams of professionals that are there to support the product, number one, you're wasting your time in a less profitable sense. You're the most profitable use of your time is going to be spent setting website appointments and selling websites, right? Not making edits or designing websites or doing SEO or doing all these extra like little things, right? That's number one. Number two, if we don't teach our customers how to leverage the product and all of the service, then they're never going to get what they need to get out of it. And when I talk about customer care, I think you're really going to understand how important it is, not only for us to leverage the system, but to teach our clients to leverage the system so that they get the very, very most out of what they are purchasing, which is not just a website. It's an entire online marketing strategy and unlimited, unprecedented support that comes with all of the tools that come with the website. So it's important for us to understand the people that are in place to make this, machine run like a well-oiled machine, right? So think of it like this, you guys. If you started a restaurant, if you owned a restaurant and it was a successful restaurant, right? You were the business owner, you owned the restaurant. You would not then take on every single detail and every single task, right? You wouldn't be, getting there early to get everything ready and prep all the food and then seating all of the patrons and then cooking all of the food, taking the orders, refilling the soda, clearing the tables, bringing the checks, and then washing the dishes at the end of the night, right? That wouldn't work. I mean, that would, and the reason is because you would only be as good, you would only be able to service a very limited amount of patrons, right? Because if you were responsible for doing every single little task in your restaurant, then you would only be as good as however many hours you had in a day, right? That's not leverage. That's you doing, everything. And that's very limited, right? That's why when you walk into a restaurant, there's somebody there that has already prepped and gotten the kitchen ready, and there's somebody there to seat the patrons, and there's somebody there as a waiter or a waitress to take your order. There's a chef, there's a busboy, and generally an owner or a manager will walk around and just see how your experience is going, right? They'll ask you, how's the food? How's the service? Are you enjoying yourselves? And that's the kind of thing that the owner does. They're the overseer. They make sure that everything is working the way it's supposed to work, and they interact with the customers, the people that are at the restaurant, in a personal way, just to build rapport, right? That's what their job is. And as web center owners, that's really, I think, how we need to be thinking of ourselves. Our job is to set appointments, and when we contact our customers, to see how they're doing, to continue to build loyalty and rapport and strong relationships so that they lead to more referrals. And the way to do that is to be just like a successful restaurant owner, and to go ahead and engage people where they're best used, to go ahead and engage all of the teams of professionals that work for us in the proper way so that we can run a successful web center business and a successful unfranchise, right? So what we're going to do tonight is I want to go over who the product specialists are. I want to talk to you some testimonials about the product specialists. I want to give you tips for using them. And I want to show you very briefly how to go ahead and book the sales appointment. Then we're gonna switch gears. We're gonna talk about the design center and our team of professional website designers that design custom designs within our platform for your clients. I'm also going to do the same thing. I'm going to share some testimonials. I'm going to share some samples of their work and some tips for how to best use them. Then we're going to talk about customer care. And that's a big one for me, you guys. I mean, I leverage customer care myself and with my clients like so much, and trust me, otherwise I wouldn't have been able to sell over 200 websites, because if I was just a traditional web developer, I wouldn't be able to handle a portfolio of that size and still provide reliable and consistent and high quality ongoing support for my portfolio, right? And then I want to talk about you and how you fit into there. I gave you a really great analogy just now, and actually I want to tell you guys that when I first started doing the Web Center program, I was doing it all wrong. I was totally trying to do every little thing. And Jeremy Fenema shared that analogy with me. And he said, Sarah, do you think you would be making more money if you weren't wasting your time in all the wrong places? And I said, yeah, probably. And he shared that analogy. And ever since that registered in my head, how to leverage the teams better, and how to understand what my role in this whole process really was, that's when I started selling consistently at least 3 to 4 websites per month. So that I'm really excited. I'm very passionate about this because I really do believe in the team of professionals. I know that they really care. I know a lot of them personally at this point, and my customers are super satisfied, and I understand how to edify them, and I understand how to leverage them, and that's why they get the most out of it. So let's get right into it. We're going to start off with the product specialists, okay? So what are product specialists? The product specialists are trained sales professionals, right? They are people that completely understand our technology, and so they're trained on our specific solution, but they're also sales professionals, so they understand how to present the information and how to data mine, right? So they understand how to talk to your client to really identify some specific needs for your client, and then go ahead and translate that into how our solution can help them with their needs, right? So it's a really great opportunity so that we can sell websites right away, or sell more websites and have more available time to sell websites, right? So when you're first starting off with motives, for example, we generally start off with motives by trying the product ourselves and maybe sharing it with a few people. That's a great thing. That's what you should be doing, and I'm not knocking that because I do it myself. But you wouldn't necessarily walk into a high end salon and offer them, motives, because you wouldn't know how to talk intelligently about how motives could work well in a salon. Most people would not know how to do that. Well, with web centers, you can do that because you don't have to know all about our product, because the product specialists do that for you. Our job is simply to set an appointment, right? And let the product specialist talk to your client about what their needs are and offer a solution, which is our maWebCenters platform, right? The interactive sales support calendar is one of the most essential pieces of the web center. It allows you to schedule an appointment with one of our qualified website sales experts, right? And I'm going to show you how to use that calendar in a little bit, but just understand that you don't need to know all of the details of how our product works and how it can help you, or specifically what we can do for a business. What you need to know is that our system helps small to medium sized businesses leverage the internet and compete online, for a fraction of the cost of what other traditional web developers are charging. So just knowing that you can help a small to medium sized business really, really compete in this economy by having a superior website, that's all you need to know. And you can let the product specialist handle all of the actual details behind how we do that, right? So let's talk about what a product specialist will do. A product specialist will read your notes in a scheduled appointment and chat with you about your notes 5 minutes before the appointment, right? So you have a relationship with your prospect. And when you book an appointment, you should have a few ideas of what that prospect is interested in. So for example, if your website prospect is a local retail shop and they're really interested in a better online e-commerce solution, then what you would do is you would just bullet point that this XYZ retail shop really wants a better solution for selling online. And then you would talk about that with your product specialist beforehand, so that when the appointment happens, the product specialist already knows that that's important to your prospect, and they're really, really careful and sure to hit that hard, and let them know that we are understanding of their needs, and we want to talk to them specifically about how we can help them, right? The product specialist will also ask your client questions about their business, right? So they're going to ask them, most of them will start off by saying, so what's important to you? What have you looked at already? And they want to know this information because they don't want to treat this like a timeshare presentation where it's a one size fits all thing. If we know a little bit more, if the product specialist knows a little bit about what's important to your client, they can tailor the presentation toward what's important to the client. Now, they're going to go ahead and briefly overview other parts of our platform that exist, but they're not going to go ahead and spend a ton of time, detailing the e-commerce portion of our platform to like an attorney, right? Because if you set an appointment with an attorney and what they're really looking to do is have a form online where people can request a free, initial consultation, then they don't really care about e-commerce so much. So what the product specialist would do is say, okay, so I hear what you're interested in. Just so you know, we do have an incredible e-commerce solution. And while you don't need to take advantage of that now, just know that it's always available to you in the future. Okay, moving on. So I heard you say that you're looking to get online consultation requests. Well, here's one way that we would be able to do that for you. Does that make sense? So it's really, really great. It allows a product specialist to make a very relevant presentation and conversation with your prospect. They will answer your client's questions. So if your client has questions about SEO or about social media or about editing or about e-commerce or about anything, the product specialists are well educated in all of these areas. So they will be able to answer questions for your client that you and I might not be able to answer, right? In addition, they will follow up with your client for you. So at the end of the appointment, if the client is not ready to make a decision right away, that's okay. The product specialist will ask for a best time to follow up. So they'll say something like, okay, George, it looks like you're not ready to make a decision right now. That's totally fine. Would it be okay if I followed up with you next Friday? And George will either say, yep, that sounds great. Or actually, why don't you give me 2 to 3 weeks instead? And that's really, really exciting because, again, they're handling the follow up for you. So a lot of times, web center owners will tell me, gosh, I just woke up today and I got an email that says, congratulations, you made a website sale. And the reason they get that email out of the blue is because a product specialist just finished following up with one of their prospects and closed the sale for them. And the web center owner wasn't even on the phone. It's a really, really beautiful thing. Sue Galad is like the master of that. She always gets those emails. She really is an incredible example of how to really leverage the system and do it the right way. And by the way, you guys, we have a new system that is currently in testing, and it's a communication system basically. So anytime a follow up is scheduled to be made with a prospect, an alert will be sent out to web center owners, letting them know. By the way, Brian will be following up with XYZ Corporation on Thursday at 2 o'clock p.m. And that's what's scheduled to happen. So it lets you know that the follow up is scheduled to happen, and then even more than that, it also alerts you when a follow-up does happen, which is really, really great because a lot of times as web center owners, we're not really sure if and when that follow-up is happening, and it's going to be really nice to be made aware of that. So it's currently in testing, and I see that being rolled out very, very, very soon. And the product specialist will sell the website for you. They literally will ask for the sale. They'll do all of the heavy lifting, all of the hard part that's really uncomfortable for people that have never done sales or even that do sales. And they're just going to close it. And you just get to earn the BV and the retail profit. It's really, really that simple. So let's take a couple of quick testimonials about some of the product specialists that we have. Anthony has the professionalism and the knowledge to seal the deal. If you want to sell a website, Anthony Flood is the specialist that gets that job done. Thank you, Anthony. Always a pleasure doing business with you, from Ruthie. I love that. I just want to say, professionalism, very, very important. And all of our product specialists, I mean, I really do think that they do a very nice job of being professional, but without being clinical. Right? They're still very friendly. They're still very easy to speak with and warm. And I really think that's an important balance to have. Another testimonial. What makes Jerry so successful is his personable approach. He always is willing to invest the extra effort to connect with the prospect on a personal level. From Harry. Again, there it is. Harry is a web center owner that's again defining that not only are they professional, but they're personable. And that's really important, you guys, because if in the end, I think I would dare to say that a big part of what our customers are buying is us. Like, they need to have that faith and that trust in us to go ahead and partner with us and trust us with marketing their business. And that personal connection is really, really important to establishing that trust. The next one, Brian was absolutely fantastic. While listening in on a 1 hour appointment, I was very impressed by his extensive product knowledge, especially SEO, and superior customer service skill. He had quick and confident answers for all questions and concerns that the client threw at him. The whole conversation was very smooth and pleasant since Brian was able to put the client at ease from the very beginning to the end. I hope I can get Brian for the next appointment. From Derek. So, a couple of quick things about that while listening in on the 1 hour appointment. So this is really, really important. Derek is another web center owner. And what we recommend to all web center owners, if you can, go ahead and silently listen in on these web center appointments. Let the product specialist three-way call you in, because the more you listen, first of all, the more you're going to learn about what our product can do. And that's always great. You learn as you go, but you also get an idea for what kinds of questions and objections clients actually have. And so when you listen in on these appointments, you become really, really, rock solid and kind of bulletproof about how to handle objections, because clients and prospects are going to throw those kinds of things at product specialists. And the product specialists do this all day long. There's not an objection in the world that they haven't heard. There's not a question in the world that they haven't heard. And so it's really nice to be able to be, three-way called in or conference into these calls, so we can kind of listen in and learn as the product specialists, the experts, overcome those objections and roll over any challenges that are thrown at them. Right? I love this. The whole conversation was very smooth and pleasant since Brian was able to put the client at ease. That's really important. If this can be a very scary thing for a business owner, is trying to figure out. There's so many options that exist, and it can be a really scary thing to decide on what kind of a solution to go with. And the product specialists are really, really good at empathizing with that and helping them to feel relaxed and at ease, and like they've come to the right place to find someone that's finally going to simplify what it is to have a successful online marketing strategy. Another testimonial. He was great. He called me a few times before the call to discuss some potential roadblocks we would have based on the notes I provided. The reason the sale didn't close today is that all members of the board needs to be there to approve the proposal. However, Mike did an amazing job, and I have every confidence that once approved this, they will choose to go with us. From Lily. Again, calling a few minutes before to discuss the notes that were provided to the product specialist, very important. But I do want to go ahead and highlight that you want to try and no, you don't want to try. You want to have all of the decision makers on the appointment, because when you don't have all of the decision makers on the appointment, it prolongs the follow-up process. It also makes you vulnerable, because the one person that is on the appointment then has to turn around, in this case, for example, and go back to the board and or their business partner or whoever was supposed to be on that call, and try and relay all of the information that they heard on the appointment. Now, if any of you have ever been to a web center training, or if any of you have ever, even just watched the online training module that goes over what our solution can do, that's a lot of information to absorb inside of an hour. So it's very unlikely that the person that was on the appointment is going to do a really good job at relaying that information properly. So having everybody on there is important. I think Mike did a really good job, and I'm pretty sure that this appointment actually did end in a close eventually. But if you want to have a sale happen sooner, do yourself a favor and have every decision maker on that call. This was without a doubt the single best web call I've ever been on. Brian is a marvel. He built rapport instantly with the client, listened to every word the client said, and showed the web solution at exactly the right pace for the client's abilities. I learned so much by listening. Thank you so much. Simply excellent. From Albert. Again, Brian Wall, he's the head of sales. He's the director of sales for the product specialist. He's incredible. Builds rapport. He's such a good listener. He's really, really good at connecting. And I love this. Went at the right pace for the client's abilities. That's really important. You have to be very patient in what we do, because sometimes the business owner wants to just go a little bit slower than what you think you have time for, and it's important. Holly is professional and filled with knowledge. Thank you for taking the time with me. From Tona and Tara. Costanzo, I believe. Again, professional and filled with knowledge. They have the knowledge so that we don't have to. Just understand, if you leverage these teams of professionals, you're going to put yourself at an advantage, and you're going to sell websites quicker, sooner, and more of them, higher quality. So what I want to do is I want to just for a second escape out of here, and I want to take you over to mawc411.com. What I'm about to show you has screenshots. If you go to setting appointments and down to using the sales calendar, this page actually has all of the screenshots in a image gallery that you can go ahead and click through and see this. So if you've never used the sales calendar before and it's intimidating for you, you can go ahead and go here for that. But I just want to take you very quickly and briefly through what the sales calendar looks like, because it's cumulative. What's really nice about the sales calendar is it's a wizard. You can't mess it up. It literally won't let you go to the next step until you've completed the first step. But this is how you go ahead and book an appointment with one of our product specialists. You don't just pick up the phone and set up an appointment. You have to log into your web center, choose the sales calendar, and follow the steps. So you do that by clicking on Sales Calendar and 4.0 Sales Calendar, right? Then what happens is this will pop up. You click on the appointment wizard and you enter in the contact phone number to call you at the start of the appointment. This is really important. Like I said a couple of times already, the product specialist is going to call you before the appointment to go over anything that's important before the appointment happens. And so it's important that they have a good phone number to reach you at the time that the appointment is scheduled for. So this phone number that you put in first is not your website prospect. It is your phone number. Then you're going to choose between creating a new website contact or an existing one. So if the website prospect has already filled out a request for a demo on your web center, or if you've already built a contact, you would choose an existing one. Most of the time, 9 times out of 10, you're going to go ahead and create a new contact. So here's how that works. You click on create new contact, and you simply enter in all of the required information. So in order to schedule an appointment, you will need to know the business owner's first and last name, what the name of their company is, what the job title is, how you know them, their phone number, an email for them, and an address. Now this is the kind of information that you can find on a business card, right? Or on a Google listing. It's not complicated information, but you do need to have it in order to schedule the appointment. Don't forget to label how you know the appointment. It's important for the product specialist. Next, you're going to go ahead and let the product specialist know all of the attendees, what their title is, and what their phone number is. It's really important because they're going to need to know who they're talking to. If there's more than one person, they need to know that there's more than one person that needs to be dialed in and what their names are. Then you're going to go ahead and take note of the username, password, and website URL that's been created for that prospect's account. It's a temporary password. It's a temporary website URL. The website that demonstration that happens will be active for a 2-week demo period. So if the prospect wants to know how to access the website to play with a little bit more, it's good for you to have it on hand. Write it down, print it out, type it into your computer or whatever you need to do. That's great. Just so you know, the product specialist will actually email this information to your prospect anyway, but I just like to have it. Then you're going to go ahead and choose a website setup cost. All right. So this recommends $14.99. So set the website cost at $14.99, and you can choose to include a design center package if you want to. I recommend that you do that. We will talk more specifically about price setting on another webinar, just because we don't have time to talk about different theories for that. But what I will say is that $14.99 is a very solid price. And if you can include a design package in that, that would give you a retail profit of about $1,000, which is a great retail profit. It's what we base all of our goal setting off of as well. But just understand that whatever you set the price out here, it calculates what your retail profit expected would be. So it won't be a surprise. Next, you're going to select a date. So you go to July, or, we're in April. You could click on April, 5th. And then what will happen is all of the available times will pop up here. So, if you book a week out, most of the times are going to be available. If you're booking for that same day or the very next day, you might not have as many available times. Just understand that whatever pops up here is what's actually available. And the next thing you're going to do is verify the contact information and the appointment time. Very simple. And then you're going to go ahead and enter in comments for the sales appointment. So here's the deal, guys. Us as web center owners, we have that warm connection. We know our website prospects. We've already had a conversation and qualified them to set an appointment. So we have information that's going to be very useful for the product specialist during the appointment. I highly recommend that you don't skip this step. And I highly recommend that you make this information short, sweet, and scannable, meaning just bullet point some things that are important. I know that a lot of times the product specialist will open this up and they're going to see some web center owner that sent them paragraphs and paragraphs of information. And while you think you're being thorough, you're actually not being very helpful, because the product specialist can't scan through, your thesis on what's important to the client. They can, however, read a couple of bullet points that are important and be able to look back at that while the appointment is going on, and that's going to be more useful. Finally, you're going to read and agree to all the terms and conditions and click finish. It's really, really simple. What will happen at that point is you will see your appointment show up in the calendar, which if you click on that blue bar, at any point you can edit the appointment or you can cancel or reschedule it. All right, everything's there. This is also available on a mobile calendar as well. You can go through these steps by going to m4mobile.mawebcenters.com and use this interactive sales calendar. It's basically like an app. All right, a couple of important things, a checklist to go through for using the product specialist. Number 1, make sure you have the time and date of the appointment. 2, attendance of all of the decision makers. 3, exchange best contact phone numbers for that time of day. So for example, if you are doing an appointment at 12 o'clock in the afternoon, and you're not going to be at home, make sure that the business owner that you set the appointment with and the product specialist each have a cell phone number or a phone number that you can be reached at 12 o'clock in the afternoon. Don't give them your home phone number if you're not going to be home. Make sure that your potential client has a reliable way to reach you in the event of needing to reschedule. Confirm that your prospect will be able to be on the computer with an up-to-date internet browser while on the phone. This is an important thing, you guys. A while back, we used to have to confirm that your person had the availability of being online and on the phone at the same time, because dial-up was how people got online. But at this point, most people are, that's just a given. You can be online and be on the phone at the same time. But there's nothing more frustrating than an appointment that starts 20 minutes late because you have to wait for your prospect to update their internet browser because it's not allowing for pop-ups or whatever. So, just saying, hey, make sure that your internet browser is up to date as well. It'll just make sure that things go smoothly. It's a nice little tip. Encourage your potential client to write down any questions that they may have before the appointment. Think of it like when you go to the doctor, guys. You know how you always have all these questions, but when you're, finally at the doctor, for some reason your brain goes blank and you can't think of all the questions you meant to ask, but you think of them after the fact. It's not helpful, right? The same thing happens in website appointments. It happens a lot, actually. So, first of all, it helps to the business owner to be prepared for the appointment and be invested in the appointment, but also it helps them to get their questions answered sooner, so that when the appointment's over, they don't feel like, well, I probably should think about more questions that I have. Again, these are all great things that are going to help move the process along quicker for you. So here's how you reach the product specialist. Number 1, you log into your web center and you can go ahead and schedule appointments like how I just showed you. You can call them at 866-287-8121. Now these are the official North American times, 9 a.m. to 8 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time, Monday through Friday. However, I will share with you guys that sales support is almost at 24/7, which is really exciting. We have somebody on schedule 24 hours a day that could do website appointments 24/7. Just understand that after 8 p.m. Eastern EDT and on the weekends, we have fewer product specialists that are available. So when you log into your sales calendar, you will see available time slots, outside of these hours. just understand that if they're showing up as available, go ahead and book that appointment. It does mean that we actually do have a product specialist. It's just that since we're not as staffed after these outside of these hours, we these are our official most probable times that you'll have somebody available for you. Okay, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna move on to the design center. I can't tell you guys what a huge difference it makes to have a team of professional designers. Before we had our design center, it was like the one piece of the puzzle that I felt was missing. We had this incredible platform, but it really was an incredible platform with good service, but it was still a do-it-yourself platform. So the design center is a great way to get your customer's website built quickly and easily and with more fun, right? One of the options that the product specialist may and should offer is the ability to have our team of professional designers completely custom design the website within our platform, right? This is really important, you guys. Think of it as buying a car, right? If you bought a brand new car and everything in the car was just incredible, but it didn't have a paint job, that's just kind of like, oh man, I have a really great car, but now I have to go figure out how to get it painted. That's kind of like, I think, how a lot of people feel when they buy websites without design packages. They go, this is an incredible product, but now I've got to do it myself. And it's a time investment. And listen, it's an easy to edit platform. It can be done, but most small to medium sized business owners don't have the right time to invest to get their website built the right way and quickly and efficiently. And the Design Center really alleviates that issue. All right, so all design packages can be purchased at the time of the activation when the website is purchased, or it can be purchased later as or at an a la carte basis. So this is what the process looks like. Once a design package is sold, the client who purchased it is contacted by phone within 2 business days by a project manager that's assigned to that particular project to get the ball rolling. So once a package is sold, a project manager is assigned, and that person will call your client directly and have a conversation on the phone. It's not all just email, which is great. From that point on, it's just a matter of gathering the information, the documents, the pictures, and the authorizations to get the project moving forward. The phases are in 3 phases. The first step, actually, it's kind of in 4. The first step is to fill out the wizard and send in the authorization. The wizard is how our clients submit content to the designers. Then a conceptual design is created. It's an idea, a concept of what we think a great design would be for your client based on the information we received in the wizard. Once the design is approved, it then gets integrated into our editable platform so that going forward, the client can still edit this custom design using our software. And then all of the other pages are built out using that design. Once the full proof is approved, it then gets launched. Our team does a great job of making sure that the projects move forward and that the clients are continue to be happy. Listen, sometimes projects take longer than expected, but what I will tell you is that in almost every single case that we've looked into where a project is taking longer than expected, it's because our designers are relentless about providing an excellent product, and they will go above and beyond to make sure that the end result is a product that the business owner is happy to have. All right. If you have questions or if you want to read some frequently asked questions, go to mawc411.com /design _center _FAQs _resources.jsp. These are the packages that exist. The starter package includes, a homepage design basically for $349. Silver package is $549. It comes with 5 content pages built out with in a custom design. Gold package is for 10 content pages at $649. The platinum design is all of that plus 10 10 pictures, 50 product catalogs. So these are for your retail people. And this for $849, it's 50 product catalog items with data entry. All of this is available at maWC411.com. So if you have questions about what these packages include, you can go there and you can review these and understand them. What I'll tell you guys is that I honestly I sell design packages with 99% of the websites that I sell. And I sell them because the website gets done professionally, it gets done efficiently and quickly. They can be built in as little as 2 to 4 weeks. And if your client decides to take 6 months, guess what? The designers will take 6 months. It depends on, however quickly we can get the proper information and get your business, your prospect, and your client to communicate. There is not VV currently associated with this, but just take a look at what your client is getting. These are just these are just add-on services. So if you're selling a website for $2,000, and the gold design package is included, that means you're going to be earning about $1,200, and you only set an appointment, whereas the designers are earning $649 and they have to do all of the labor. So just remember that the real retail profit and the BV is built in the website sale. And these packages make the sale more likely. That's part of how this all works together. There's also a la carte items. You can sell logo, you can sell extra product catalogs and additional pages. Take a look at a couple of quick testimonials. This being my first time working with with designing a website and not being very computer savvy, Michelle made this a pleasurable experience. Thank you very much, from Gary. Again, this is a person that is not computer savvy that leveraged the design center and had a great and pleasurable experience. Sean did an awesome job through the entire process. He was wonderful about offering suggestions and making the site user friendly for our client, who replied quickly to emails and completed all changes in a timely manner. He went above and beyond to call to make sure the site was dynamic and full of great content. I would highly recommend him to business partners as well as using him on future projects. He's professional, kind, courteous, and above all patient. I look forward to working with him again in the near future. Thanks for such a smooth process, from Susan. Justin really went out of his way to help with this project. I couldn't have asked for a better design project manager. He worked well with us to meet deadlines, but remained flexible as he was perceptive to our limitations. We appreciate his help. I love that, you guys. That's a huge statement right there. Our designers will bend over backwards to make sure we hit our deadlines, but we'll also be flexible if the business owner needs just a little bit more time. That's really important. Let's take a look at some of the designs that we've turned out. These are custom designs that were done. The labor is all set. The business owner bought a website, or the organizational leader in this, or the church leader in this particular example, and then they can just simply log in and make their edits. It's really, really great. These are really beautiful websites that are, graphically exciting and clean and professional designs. You could tell that these were done, photoshopped, beautiful ideas. Um, look at how beautiful and visually appealing these designs are. Beautiful. So, just to recap, why should you be using the Design Center? Actually, let me just back up for a second. If you're looking for more designs, again, these are available at mawc411.com. You can also see more at masamples.com, or by being a fan of us on Facebook at facebook.com/official MA Web Centers. So, recapping, the Design Center is something that adds more prospective clients into the funnel. And when I say more prospective clients into your funnel, I mean most prospective clients into your funnel. Most business owners these days do not have time to set their website up from the beginning, and having that design option is going to be a deal maker for them. All right. It increases client satisfaction in a huge way and retention within our system. It helps you to sell websites at a higher sale price and earn more retail profit. The fact is this, guys, web center owners that sell websites that include design packages statistically sell them at higher prices and statistically earn higher retail profits. The web center owners that don't sell design packages statistically sell them at lower costs and earn less money. So the design packages really build value and allow you to earn more money on the sale. In fact, I already just said that. Happier clients. By the way, would you agree that if your client has a beautiful design that they're proud of, they're very happy? Well, happier clients lead to more referrals 100% of the time. Leverage the team to create happier clients and more referrals for yourself. You can reach the Design Center by going to calling 800-711-9145, and these are their hours of operation. You can also email them at designcenter@mawebcenters.com. All right, we're going to switch gears into the customer care team of professionals. This is a group of trained professionals who will assist your clients with support for maintaining their websites and using our tools. So Customer care does more than help your website clients to edit their website. They support your website customers in using all of the online marketing tools that come with the website. It's so much more than making edits. They're available 24/7, and it's home country support. More than that's really important, by the way, you guys. Home country support is a huge deal. Because we just think about the last time you called a customer care line for some other product or service that you have, and you got outsourced to some country with people that speak English as a second language. It's very, very frustrating, and it takes more time than it should. Well, all of our countries that we do business with have teams of professionals that are hired home country in the home country that they're located in. So Hong Kong gets Hong Kong support, Taiwan gets Taiwanese support, Canadian support, USA support, Mexico has their own Mexican support, UK, etc. Right? 24/7. More than that, your clients can request to work with specific people at customer care. So if you have a business owner or a client that prefers to work with, Conan at customer care, your client can call into customer care and say, I prefer to work with Conan. Is he available? And if Conan is available, he'll be transferred right away. If Conan is not available, they'll say to your client, Conan's on another line right now, but we can have him call you back right away as soon as he hangs up with his client. Or we can help you right now. It's your decision. And that option is available. Can you guys imagine if you called into your cell phone provider and specifically asked to work with a very specific person? That kind of customer service doesn't care. We really want to provide an extra personal opportunity with your clients, all right? By the way, you have access to the customer care team as well. So if you have any questions about using your web center or about the tools that come with your web center, you can ask customer care for help with this. They're a huge part of the service that we provide. And we're going to talk about why it's important or how you can promote customer care in just a little bit. Testimonials. Brandy was great. She spent a very long time helping me, even staying an hour past the end of her shift. She surpassed my expectations in every way. From Glenn. Guys, that again is so huge. Brandy could have been like, I'm out of here. My shift ended an hour ago. I'm going to transfer you. But she didn't. She stayed. That's important. Kelly is amazing, simply amazing. We screen share to optimize a website, and he can help me learn many shortcuts that I have at my fingertips. I can't wait to screen share with him again. From Randy. Screen sharing is really important. People and adults and people in general learn in different ways, and some people are very visual. So rather than just making the changes or doing things for our clients, we want to teach them how to use the system so that they can actually do it faster next time and use it more often. And one of the ways that we can do that is we can screen share with the clients and show them, literally take over their mouse if we want to, and show them how to make the change or how to access the specific tool. From Luke. He was a great help to me when I was unkind to him. He is a great asset to your company, and if every company had a person like Phil to resolve issues, there would be many more happy customers. He is a great customer service manager. You should move him up the ladder quickly. I think that's one of my favorite testimonials I've ever read about customer care ever. Listen, when people call into customer care, it's not generally because they're really excited to talk about something that's going great. It's because they have a challenge or a difficulty or something's not working the way they want it to work, right? They're generally frustrated and they need help. And the people at customer care understand that, and so they're ready for that. And we're ready to diffuse any frustrations and put people at ease and just help. And we're very used to dealing with people that call in and are very snippy, and that's fine. And it's because people are frustrated. We understand that, and we're prepared to handle that in a way that is productive. She's the best in English and in Spanish. She conducted the whole support with easiness, never living the Spanish. Great to have her in the company. From Julio. We do have support available not only for product specialists and design center, but also in customer care in all spoken languages that we do business in. So we have English, Spanish, Mandarin, Cantonese. All right. Anthony was a superb professional with great personality. He was very knowledgeable and was able to answer all of my client's questions. He also made suggestions to my client that he had not even considered. I felt very confident with Anthony throughout the entire sales appointment. That should be under product specialist. I apologize for that. The last one is keep up the great customer service, as it is hard to find these days. Companies are quick to sell a product, but they don't stand behind it when customers need help. Thank you, from Larry. You guys, what it comes down to is this. Service is the number one thing that sets us apart from everything that's out there, right? There's so many stupid options that people can buy, and they can try and like spend little money and do everything themselves, but they have to figure it out on their own. And customer service sets us apart. And if you understand how to promote our customer service, people are dying. They're so thirsty and hungry for better FaceTime, better customer service. They'd be happy to have a company like ours to back them up. Let's talk about tips for leveraging customer care. Make sure to highlight the value of that customer care and tech support when you're setting your appointments right from the get-go with your potential customers. Not only is that going to build value in the sales appointment, but it lets them know right from the beginning that they can have an expectation of support, ongoing support from beginning to end. When you sell a website, take a few minutes and simply show your customer all of the different ways that they can access tech support. Teach them how to use tech support. If you teach them how to use tech support, they will use it, right? If you call my cell phone right now, it says, "You've reached Sarah Stack. Sorry, I missed your call." Hey, if you're a website client, and you have a question about a website, you can access my customer care by dialing 866 web help, right? It says that. If you email my WebCenter email, the autoresponder is, "I check email twice a day to be more productive." If you're a website customer and you have a question, please contact customer care. Here's the phone number. I teach my clients to use customer care because I don't have time to answer questions about editing. And I'm not reliable to do that because I'm very busy. It's not fair to my website clients to be at the mercy of my schedule to answer questions when they have people that are available 24/7. So they're not getting the most out of their product if they're relying on me to answer those kinds of questions. They would be getting the most out of their product if they use the product properly, which is using customer care when they have those questions. All right. When I'm following up with my existing customers, I ask them if they're taking advantage of tech support. Just like I call up my isotonics clients and I ask if they're being compliant with their product. I ask if they're taking it every day, if they're taking it the right way, if they're being compliant. I do the same thing with my website customers. I include the customer care info on my business cards, my email signature, social media, my phone, all of those things. When I give my web center clients my business card, it has the tech support number right on there. I teach my clients to use customer care for two reasons. Number one, my customers deserve the service that they're paying for, and they deserve it. That's what they're paying for, so I teach them how to use it. And number two, I have to be the restaurant owner. I have to be the web center owner. I can't be doing every little task in my business. I have to do my role, which is to be the web center owner. So if you want to contact customer care, or if you want to teach your clients how to use customer care, 1-866-WEB-HELP or 932-4357, help@maWebCenters.com. You can also live chat support, and they are available 24/7. So finally, what do you need to do to take advantage of these teams of professionals? It starts with setting an appointment. You need to ask lots of questions with your website prospects to build rapport, to build value into the appointment so that you can have really great notes when you're setting the appointment. Edify the product specialist, right? When you want to take somebody to a UBP to see the plan, we edify the speaker. We let the person that we're bringing to the UBP know that Gary Rogers is a director with the company. He's making $18,000 to $25,000 in 4 weeks residually. He's going to be showing this opportunity, at the Hilton in Springfield on Tuesday. And he's a really, really great leader in the company, and he's been doing, used to own a gym, and he's going to go ahead and show the opportunity and answer questions at the end. You edify. So what I do with my website customers is something very similar. I say, okay, this is great. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to have one of my product specialists talk to you about our product. He's going to answer all the questions, and we'll take it from there. Confirm your appointments. It's statistically the appointments that are cancellations or no-shows are the ones that were unconfirmed. So make sure that you're not forgetting to confirm appointments. I think people, they skip confirmation because they fear that if they call to confirm, that's when they're going to get canceled on. But statistically, know this: the confirmed appointments are the ones that happen. Let the product specialist sell the website for you. Let them do it. Plug into the system. Teach your clients to leverage their resources, like we just talked about. To work with your project manager with design, to call tech support for technical assistance, to use tech support to leverage all of their tools, to follow up with cool updates when they happen. So when I call my clients, and like, for example, mobile websites just came out a little less than a year ago. I called my clients up and I said, hey, by the way, we can now mobilize your website for free. If you want help doing that, call into customer care and have them walk you through mobilizing your website. It's free to do. It's really going to be a great asset to your business. And by the way, most companies are charging $800 or more for that kind of technology. That is a great example of a free upgrade that happens for our clients. So in all, the maWebCenters team working together properly is a well-oiled machine. It's a cycle that works beautifully together. There's a sales support team to help sell the website for you, a design center to help design the site for your client, tech support to help maintain the site and use the tools for your client, and you set appointments, you follow up, and you're a great customer manager. You plug into the system and you leverage the teams of professionals to provide the ultimate online marketing solution for your website prospects. So I encourage you to go out there, build a really great names list, set appointments, and leverage the team to the best of your ability so that you can be very productive, efficient, and to sell a high quality product and service. Thank you so much for joining me. I'll see you in 2 weeks on the third Tuesday of this month, and I will be announcing that topic the day of on our Facebook page. Thank you guys for joining.